Yo, what's going on, champions? It's Marquise Money Mike Williams, founding member and executive senior director here at JMG Net Worth. Man, I'm super excited about today. We're going to have a phenomenal week. I want to take a moment to welcome all the new champions that have joined our team. Man, we're super duper excited about having you. We're super duper excited about you learning the art of income shifting, the art of personal and economic development and empowerment. You guys, the art of starting your 90-day total life makeover. Man, some major things about to happen. Hold on, let me close my door. If you're just plugging in with us, go ahead and leave us some comment love below. Do not check the post on Facebook post, okay? That's going to let everybody in on our secret representative only training. That is actually one of the reasons why we are actually going to put this behind the closed door starting next week. All right, you're going to have to log in to your Focus Institute, your Focus Marketing System, to actually view training from now on. So make sure you get used to using the system. You know, we put this powerhouse system in place for people, for you to use, for you to have an advantage, for you to have a secret weapon to nuke poverty, to nuke lack, to nuke, no results. But if you don't use that secret weapon, if you don't pick it up and let the power run through your veins, then it's not going to be to any advantage of you. So we're going to get things popping. One of the things I always like to talk to people about is decisions. And as you can hear, Star and Honey are out, wilding out and doing what they do. For those of you that are new, I have three beautiful daughters actually. Two are still young. They stay at home with me. They're twins that are 8 years old, and they just love life, man. They don't care that I'm doing training. They don't care that, I could be in here, having a personal meeting, with Jesus himself, and they're gonna do them. And that's what I love, to be able to be carefree. Because when we were younger, each and every one of us were carefree. We had dreams this big, and we just wanted to be firefighters, wanted to be police. We wanted to be on top of the world. We wanted to do the things that we wanted to do. But as you begin to get older and you grow, your circumstances, society, and limitations, and what things, people's begin to frame your mind, and it begin to shrink your dreams and your goals, and you begin to your actions start to begin to be influenced based on what you think you can do and what you can afford and what your circumstances are, instead of understanding that you can do all things through Christ who strengthened you, and the wealth is already on reserve for you. The all your goals and all the dreams and things that you want is already on reserve for you. You just have to do the work and go and get it. And up till now, maybe you didn't have a vehicle that was powerful enough to allow you to use it to do the work. But now you have that vehicle. You just have to stay strong, and you just have to make that decision. Okay? You got to make that decision to stay in tune, follow directions, and do what you need to do to be successful. Okay? Because when I talk about decisions, if you look at start, and you look at your finish. This is where you are right now. And you may or may not be happy with where you are right now. But you have to understand that there was many paths. Your past is a collection of the decisions that you made. Right? And sometimes the past, they might cross each other. You might have had several opportunities to make a different decision. But the fact of the matter is, where you are right here, right now in your life, whether you're happy with it, whether you're not happy with it, is an accumulation of the decisions that you've made up to this point. So if you're not happy with where you are right now in life, and I'm not saying you gotta be totally disgusted. You might be a little bit unhappy. You might be making $100,000 a year. You might not be happy with that, and it's okay to not be happy with that. Be appreciative, but don't be happy. Because even when we talk about jobs, I always tell people, be appreciative of your job, but don't settle for your job, because you have the opportunity to do so much better. You have the opportunity to not have to beg, not have to wait, and not to go with your hands out and hope and pray that somebody's going to give you enough to provide and feed your family. That's what the Focus Freedom movement is all about. Freeing you from the fear, freeing you from the lack, freeing you from the bondage that's holding you back from accomplishing your goals and accomplishing your dreams. Okay? Okay? Now, just because you have a job, be a good steward of that job. Because one of the biggest things that I go by in life, one of the biggest things I go by in life is how you do anything is how you do everything. Okay? I was teaching my daughters the other day, because my daughters have started, growing into entrepreneurs. They want to sell candy at school. They want to set up the lemonade stand. They want to do things to be able to generate cash flow, generate income. And the the principal at school said, you're not allowed to sell candy. We don't want to allow this. Star, she's like, okay, bump that. I'm going to do it on the low. I'm going to be the hustler. I had to teach her, no. Your character is who you are when nobody's looking. And how you do anything is how you do everything. So while I'm proud of your entrepreneurship, I'm proud of your hustle. If you sneak and sell candy, then it's going to be difficult for me to trust you, because I feel like you're going to sneak and do something at home, because how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you're lazy in one area of your life, then you may not realize it, but there's a lazy tendency. You may fight it, you may hold it off, but there's a lazy gene. There's a lazy tendency that eventually is going to show its face in other areas of your life. So you always want to carry yourself with a level of greatness in everything that you do. And here, trust and believe, I'm going to push you. I'm going to stretch you. I may tell you some things that may ruffle your feathers, some things that you quite honestly don't want to hear, but it's only out of love, and it's only to make you better in all areas of your life. All right? So understand the decisions that you make are important. And the beautiful thing about it is, no matter where you are or what you have going on in your life right now, it's never too late to start making different decisions. So when we talk about our strategy success, with JMG is simple as 1, 2, 3. It all starts with one decision. It all starts with one decision. And that one decision can truly be your turning point of life, is when you're going in one direction and you pivot. Okay? You pivot and you make the decision to go a different way. That's your turning point. So your decision, success with JMG starts with one decision, that you want something more out of life, but more importantly, you're willing to do the work that it takes to get it. Because trust and believe, everybody likes the idea of success. You show me any area of life, and you're going to have more people who raise their hand to say that they want it than more people who are willing to do the work. Let's take weight loss. Weight loss is not rocket science. It's eating clean, it's exercising, okay? It's eating clean, it's exercising. If you take somebody who's even moderately overweight, I mean, I'm not a real big dude, I got a little Georgia Dome Buddha in front of me, but I'm not obese. I'm not significantly overweight, but I'll raise my hand and say I want to lose weight, right? But if I'm not willing to not eat the donuts, not eat the Krispy Kreme, not eat the fast food, if I'm not willing to get on that treadmill or to lift them weights and to do the things that it takes to actually lose the weight, guess what? I'm making the decision, but I'm not willing to do the work. You look at relationships. A lot of people wonder why in society relationships don't work. Because everybody likes the idea of having a boo next to them. Everybody likes the idea of having companionship, being able to go out on a date, being able to kick it, being able to know that somebody's there. But not everybody's willing to do the work. They're not willing to be accountable for their actions. They're not willing to be chivalrous and open doors. They're not willing to they're not willing to do the work that it takes to have a successful relationship. And you can even talk about friendships. They're not willing to be accountable. When you say you're going to call me back, then call me back. Why? Because when we set that appointment, I scheduled for success, so I freed up my time for you. All right? We talking about friendships now. If I'm there for you, I got a cup right here, right? I'm drinking some water. If I'm constantly pouring into you, guess what? After a while, my cup's going to be empty, right? So if I turn to you like, oh, yeah, I'm thirsty, pour into me. If you're not pouring into me, then you're not willing to do what it takes to maintain a successful friendship. And vice versa. If somebody's pouring into you, you're not willing to pour back. If somebody's every time you call them, they're there for you. They're there for you. They're there for you. And then they call you, and you like, I would do it. Like that old, they got a Comcast commercial where people, this dude's trying to move, right? And he's calling up the homies, and they're like, I would do it, but, I got this going on. I got that going on. And they're just lying through their teeth, on the camera. They show they're doing something other than what they say they're doing. And they call Comcast, and they're like, yeah, we'll help you move. We got you. And that's what real friends are. I was watching a phenomenal interview the other day. It was with Kevin Hart. And this was probably one of the most intimate interviews that I've ever seen with Kevin Hart. And I'm actually going to post it in the Facebook group. But Kevin Hart was talking about one of the biggest things that I did is I got a bubble. And I got a tight bubble. And I grew within that bubble. And I grew with those friends. I trusted those friends. I knew everything. We knew everything about each other. And I didn't let anything pop the bubble. That was really impactful to me, you guys. Because there's going to be people who attempt to come into your circle. There's going to be people who attempt to come into your life, and they're going to have bad intentions. Ingenuine, and not always bad, just ingenuine intentions, you guys. So you got to make sure you be aware. But it starts with one decision, all right? So if you're struggling in your life, if you're struggling in your business, if you don't know why it's not coming together, you got to first make one decision. It doesn't matter if it's James G. Net Worth. You can change James G. Net Worth anything. Success with anything, blank, starts with you making one decision that you want something more out of life, that you want a change, that you want to change. And when you make that decision that you want to change and you pivot that foot, if you pivot that foot and you do the stanky leg a little bit and then you turn, and you're willing to do the work, I'm telling you, it's going to happen for you. But because this is a James G. Net Worth training, we're going to focus on helping you be successful in your James G. Net Worth business. Okay? So we're going to keep rocking. We're going to keep rocking. Rock, rock on. Rock, rock on. Rock, rock on. All right, let me help you understand something. Amateurs start a business. Professionals launch a business. All right? You don't know how to be a professional when you're first getting started. If you're new and this is your first training, I want you to understand that you have somebody who has 100% of the information, right? The average person retains 7 to 10% of what they hear and see, okay? I want you to understand the psychology and why we do what we do, okay? Because some of you feel like it's unnecessary and you don't like it. But I want you to understand, I've been in this game for a long time. I've made millions in this thing. So I want you to understand that I've studied, I've mastered the art of putting together this system to make it simpler for you to be successful, all right? So let's say, for example purposes, the average person retains 50% of what they hear and see, right? So you got somebody who has 100% of the information. They go tell somebody, and they're excited, they got 50% of the information, right? So everybody, you got these two people that are excited, this person got 50% of the information. They go out, and they tell somebody who has 25% of the information. And it's just like telling a secret, down the line. After a while, a joke, secret don't matter. By the time, when you start the secret or the joke, by the time you get to the end of the line, it's always different than what it started with. So you get to the person with 25%, and the company's no longer JMG Net Worth, it's JNG Net Worth. And everybody's excited. Yo, you got to join JNG Net Worth, personal and economic empowerment, income shifting. We're showing you how to lower your taxes, get out of debt, make snow bunnies. We doing it all. So they tell somebody, right? That person has 12%. of the information, right? Now the whole JMG JNG is just dropped. The company's name is just net worth. System's not step 1 and step 2. It's step 1, step 2, and step 3. You know, things are just changing. All right? And the process keeps going on and on, right? And then this person with 3% of the information comes to tell you. They come to tell you. And my question for you is, what do you feel like, what do you think your chance of being successful is with 1% of the correct information? What do you think your chance of being successful is with 1% of the correct information? That's why we plug everybody into 100% of the same correct information. So that way everybody has an equal opportunity for success. It doesn't matter who brought you in. It doesn't matter how good you feel, because the person you bring in could be better than you and go and blow this thing up. And because you started the business, because you refer them, you benefit from it financially. It's a win-win situation for everybody involved. And you got to get excited. You got to understand that. So the ABCs to success, that's the system, right? Save yourself time, energy, and money. That's what the system is designed to do. To take out all the guesswork, to make it easy, to make it simple for you. I don't use the word easy, right? So the system has 2 parts. If pros launch a business, in the pre-launch, in the 48-hour pre-launch, it prepares you to launch. It gets everything set up. So you have all the intricacies out the way. You're setting up your systems. You're making your inventory. You're knowing why, because until you know why, the how doesn't matter. So you're setting all these things up. You're getting mentally prepared to understand what's going to happen in a launch. If you look at sports, they have training camp. They have a pre-season so they can get ready for the season, right? They get ready for game time. That's where they sharpen their skills. They get ready mentally. You know, they've been off. They haven't been training for a while. They got to get used to hitting people in football. They got to get used to running up and down the court back and forth in basketball. They got to get used to swinging that bat in baseball, okay? So you got to understand the pre-launch is important, and it's called the 48-hour pre-launch for a reason. Why? Because when I first got started in business, we had a 48-hour rule. And the 48-hour rule was really simple. If people don't do what they supposed to do in 48 hours, then you get in them deuces and you move on to the next person. Why? Because this business is all about urgency. Urgency. You got first movers advantage to tell people about the best opportunity in the United States right now. You have an opportunity for all your prayers to come to pass. If you got an opportunity to make a dream become a reality, you got an opportunity to reach your goals and reach your dreams. What are you waiting for? Oh, see, you don't understand, Marquise. I'm just so busy. I got so much going on. What are you waiting for? You've been on your knees, and if you don't get on your knees, you've been praying. You've been asking God for an opportunity, for a vehicle, for a way to get ahead, to pay these bills, to get that new house, to get this new car, to put them kids through school, and now you've been blessed with it, and you're making excuses about your time. You're making excuses about the other things that you got going on in your life that aren't getting you to where you want to be. You got to understand, this thing is all psychological. I asked you at the beginning of every presentation, where do you want to be in the next few years? And is what you're currently doing right now going to get you there? Because if not, you got to do something different. But when you get that something different, you got to take action on the information. Remember, it's not knowledge that gives you power. It's applied knowledge that gives you power. And just because you get in, I just ate breakfast. Well, if I sit down at the table and the breakfast is in front of me, but I don't eat the breakfast, guess what? I'm still hungry. I'm still hungry. My stomach it starts growling, okay? And there's some people who get into business and they're sitting down looking at the food and they're not eating it. Okay? And then they're complaining. They're still complaining about their situation. And what you have to understand is life is 10% what happens to you and 90% of how you respond to it. So don't focus on your problems. It doesn't matter what's in the bank account right now. Marquise, you don't understand. You ain't got these bills. I've been there before, bruh. Had the lights turned off before, bruh. Been behind on my rent before, sis. Didn't know where the next money was going to come from before, you guys. Family, come on. I've been there before. I've been homeless before. So I don't buy a lot of excuses. One of the things that I understood is that when you want to be successful, find somebody who's where you want to be, who has the results that you want, and you shut up and listen to them. You shut up and listen to them. You know, God keeps telling you, you can have anything that you want, but you keep telling them what you got. And even on mortal land, I keep telling you I can help you become successful. You just got to listen to me. And you keep telling me what you want to do. All the reasons why you aren't able to do it. Come on, baby. It's time to wake up. I don't want you to miss the biggest thing. Biggest lessons I've learned in life is the only thing worse than never having money is to have money and to have lost it. And I've been there before. That's why I created the strategies that we have to make sure that people are educated about finances. They're just not looking up on a business and making some money, and they're not educated on what to do with it. Okay? The other thing I learned in life is the only thing worse than being on the outside looking in is being on the inside and still missing out. Don't be in the business and still miss out. You don't want to be that person. I have friends, man. I have friends that I know personally that got involved with businesses and they watch people go to the top. They watch people go to the top because God's no respecter of persons. If he'll do it for somebody else, he'll do it for you. We all have an equal opportunity playing field, okay? But you watch these people go to the top, and the only reason it wasn't him is because he wasn't willing to do the work that it takes to be successful, okay? It's all those decisions. You got to make the decision. Everything is a decision. And when you make the decision, it may be a tough decision sometimes. If you're married, if you got a spouse, I totally recommend you sitting down with them at the very beginning when you start the business, or, today, make the decision today to relaunch and restart your business, and sit down with your spouse, sit down with your significant other, and let them know there's investments that are going to need to be made, both time and financially. Okay? See, when you tend to just do it, then they get pissed off because you ain't communicate. You got to let them know, hey, Sunday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, I'm going to be on this call. I would love for you to get on with me so that you can, we can do this together. But whatever you schedule, because in the beginning, one of the 5 keys to success we talk about is scheduling for success. Put your schedule down. One of our upcoming superstars, I call her Shot, but we sat down, we said, put your schedule down. It's like on those Avenger movies. You got the little virtual joint. You got your schedule in front of you, right? You put down your work hours, the hours that you work, because that's what you got to do right now to provide for your family. Remember, your current lifestyle is paid for by your labor, okay? So you put that down, boom. And then you put down your spiritual commitments. You may go to church on Sundays. Some of you may go to church on Saturdays, okay? You put down those commitments. And then you look at, when you put down the family commitments that you may have, okay? You put down your commitments, your current commitments. And then you take a step back. And you say, are any of these commitments things that I could temporarily invest to get a return on my investment later? Okay? I don't say sacrifice, because sacrifice is giving it up forever. Some things you may need to give up forever. But I say invest because you expect a return on your investment. So if you give it up now, we want to grind hard so that you can do it as much as you want later. Okay? But once you decide, okay, I don't need to watch TV as much here. I don't need to go do, I don't need to go play kickball right now because I'm working on something. Okay? And then once you look at the open slots, then you start plugging time to build your business in those slots. It may not be a consistent time. You may have to get 15 minutes here, 20 minutes there. You may have to get on the phone while you're on the commute to work. Okay? But that's making the decision that you're willing to do the work that it takes. It's not always going to be convenient for you. Everybody wants it hand delivered on a platter. No, you're going to have to do some work if you truly want it. We're talking about putting you in 1 to 5% of the population. It takes work. It takes self-discipline. Will Smith shot a video not too long ago, and it was beautiful, and it inspired me because, you know, what Will Smith has been doing, he's recently got on social media. And he's been on IG, he's been on YouTube, and he's been shooting videos. And he said, what I love about this social media is I always have to be Will Smith. I have to always be what people expect. But this gives me just the chance to just be Will. Again, I don't have to be, you know, I don't have to be what people expect. And see, people don't join businesses, they join people. So you have to be yourself. One of the things Mr. Jones taught me early on is there's sometimes you don't have trust and respect with people because of the past decisions that you made. So that's why personal growth and development is important, because if you work hard on your job or your business or whatever you have going on in life, you'll make a pretty good living. Might even make some money as well. But when you work hard on yourself to become a better you, that is when you begin to make a fortune. A fortune. A fortune. So we have to become better versions of ourselves. Because if we don't have trust and respect with people, then they're not going to join us. But that's the beauty of marketing, because we can attract people that don't know us. So as we're working on improving who we are, we still can build our business, and we can still work on strategy number 1, cash flow management, to work on our own financial situation, you guys. So we covered all different facets of what we have going on. All right, I want you to understand that. You know, that's so powerful for you to get. Oops. All right. So that's why we have the 48-hour pre-launch. All right. So it's important for you to not spend all 48 hours with the pre-launch. There's different modules. You got A, you got B, you got C, you got D, you got E, you got F. And you could probably go through all of them in about 60 minutes, right? I sat down with another new champion that just got started, Big Rob. We sat at Starbucks and we just ran through them. You know, we just ran through them. Boom. You know, so he pretty much got the pre-launch out the way. I think he just has E and F if he hasn't finished them already. Okay? So I want you to understand the pre-launch is important. Get it out the way, because the faster you get through the pre-launch, then you can get to the launch. Right? And the launch teaches you how to get qualified. It teaches you how to get 3 people. Okay? It teaches you how to get customers. Okay? It teaches you the compensation plan, how we get paid. Okay? It teaches you all those things to successfully launch your business. See, when we talk about systems, we have systems within systems. You know, we got, I guess that would be, in programming language, it would be called nested systems, right? Because you got to understand, you know, system stands for save yourself time, energy, and money, right? So we got retail systems. We got retail systems. Show you how to get customers. That's a part of the launch. We show you that. We got retention systems. You know why the 10 reasons are so important? The 10 reasons are so important because you're going to go through a period of time where you feel like quitting. Okay? Why? Because this is foreign to you. Why? Because you're not used to doing this type of work. And when you have somebody like me who's going to stretch you, who's going to push you to your greatest potential, you're not going to like it. And those 10 reasons, when you don't feel like it, when you come home after work and all you can think about is how hard the work day was, The 10 reasons are going to remind you why you're doing this, so that you can get away from that hard work day, or so that you can get the freedom to be able to do the things that you want to do. They're going to remind you that those kids are looking up to you and you're their hero. They're going to remind you the things that you're really working for, and it's going to give you that extra incentive, that extra motivation to push through. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is just that little extra, okay? So your retention systems are important. We got recruiting systems. Okay, so we got systems within the overall system that's going to help you become successful and put you in a place where you can go ahead and rock this thing out and maximize your success, you guys. So going through the training, let me show you what, in 7 days, what your goal is. All right, you got you. Your goal in 7 days is to become a superstar. That's the strategy, that's the system. So you got you. You got started, you made a decision to do the work, and you're willing to do the work that it takes to get it, right? You're already your first customer. So to become superstar, you got to get one more customer. So within the first week, your goal is to add a customer and to get 3 people that have made a decision and got 2 customers. Right? Because most people get their 2 customers right away when they get started. Okay? Now, I'm going to break down the psychology of the system. Did this a little bit last week, but I'm going to break down the psychology of the system. I was talking to my man the other day, and I got a napkin. Oh, well, water dry. I'm going to break down the psychology of the system because I want you to understand something. And this is one of the most important things that I want you to understand. My nose itching. Okay? There's lots of opportunities out there. There's a lot of different businesses. Okay? There's people selling health and wellness. There's people who selling legal services. There's people who selling, sex toys. There's people who are selling travel. There's people who are selling a lot of different things. All right? But what you have to realize is that people get started in those businesses 9 times out of 10 for the money. Okay? For the money. If you get started in a travel business and you don't make no money, then you just have a travel site, but you're still broke. If you get started in a health and wellness business, that's great. But if you got started for the money, you don't make no money, then you're just healthy and broke. That's not bad, but it's not good either. If you got started in a legal services business and you don't make no money, then you just have access to legal services and you're a good person, but you're still broke. If you got started in, what else did I name? Oh, we ain't gonna talk about sex toys. So anyways, what I want you to understand, when you get started in James G. Net Worth and you get educated, you learn the strategies, it doesn't matter how fast or how slow your business grows because your financial situation is being reshaped. Your financial situation is changing, it's being transformed just by strategy number 1 and using the My Financial Worth powered by My Credit is Better service. So I'm breaking down the strategies for you real quick so that you understand. I'm going to go ahead and leave this up here so you understand why it's so simple. And there's 2 different things. You get started for $50, right? Remember, most people get started for the money. Most people get started for the money. So with the first strategy, cash flow management, average person is making an extra $200 to $500 a month. Additional cash flow, right? Now I need you to understand something. If you don't get started and adjust your W-4, your anniversary date, the day you get started, start date equals anniversary date. So they're going to have $70, and if you got 2 customers, $120. come out your account on that anniversary date. So that's why it's important to go through the 48-hour pre-launch, adjust your W-4 so that you have this coming in so that this isn't a problem a month later. You understand the psychology of it? Because you got people who are struggling already. You got people who have issues financially already. You got people who want to do things already. So we show them how financially it's not an issue. We show them how this system is a self-containing system. So there's nothing to lose, only everything to gain, right? Okay, so that's strategy number one. Okay, when you're looking at business income, you get these three people getting paid 25, 25, 25, right? So you get 75 from building business income. One time. On strategy two, right? We'll just say a month. We'll just throw that M in there, right? So success with JMG is simple as 1, 2, 3. Your first week, I want you to understand, boom, you get started, right? During this week, while we're working on this, you're working on this. So your next check, you got extra bread. So on your anniversary date in a month, there's not an issue. And number two, we're getting your testimony. So when you get that next check, you see the extra bread. We want to film your testimony. Hey, what's going on? My name is Marquise Williams, and I'm super excited because by working with the Focus team, I was able to increase my cash flow an extra $200 a month. Boom! In the face. You think we get a bunch of testimonies like that? Hey, I'm so-and-so, I increased my cash flow. Hey, I'm so-and-so, I increased my cash flow. You don't think people are going to take notice? You don't think people are going to get excited? Come on now. You got to understand. There's psychology to this. And I got a bit off track, but let me help you understand. Let me bring it back so I can come back to where I'm at. I was talking to my man and I was telling him there's a lot of opportunities that are out there, right? But you want to take the path of least resistance to get to where you want to be with the highest degree of culture, morals, and ethics. Okay? Culture, morals, and ethics, okay? It don't get no simpler than this, you guys. If you want to make more money, if you want to grow personally, if you want to get educated, if you want to get to a point where you can take care of your two objectives, it doesn't get any more simple than this. So why there's a lot of other opportunities that are out there. Why there's opportunities that you get on the conference call and you just hear ding, 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 and gazillion people. That's okay. Never despise small beginnings because we're going to get there. The only difference is you're pioneering the situation. You're in at the beginning. So when all those dings and all those people come, those gazillion people come, we can sit back and rest and understand, hey, we were instrumental in building that. Okay? So I want you to understand there's greatness in that. So you got the one, you made the decision. You got the two, you got your two customers, right? And then you got your three people. This is all within the first week. Boom. You got $200 to $500 coming a month. You got your 75, so you got your bread back. Or if for some reason, I got a guy who's an Uber driver, right? So he has no W-2 to adjust, or no W-4 to adjust because he doesn't have a job. But he was able to get this 75 to make sure that the anniversary date was paid for. And it allowed him to keep going because when we help these three people do the same thing, when we help them do the same thing, guess what? That makes you a rock star. Now, it's important for you to understand, and this is in the comp plan training, but I want to be completely transparent. Rockstar bonuses are 2 months out. What does that mean? That means when you qualify for Rockstar in May, that's month 1. They make sure that all this is still in place month 2. And then you start getting paid month 3. Okay? It's no different with residuals. All the customers, they come in now. We make sure that they're there in month 2, and then you get paid right here. Okay? It's important for you to understand the way the money works, and that's in the compensation plan as well. And we have to make sure that we take care of our company, because if we take care of our company, they'll take care of us. All right. So this is week 2. Now you're rock star. So no matter what, you come in May, you got June paid for, and you're getting $150 the next month to pay for the rest of your business, right? So now whether it's cash flow management or business income, you got a business, you're not coming out of pocket for it, and you have something that can grow with no ceiling. So a lot of times people talk about, I don't have the money. I'm like, yo, to take care of your 2 objectives, to actually completely change your family's dynamic and your financial situation, you don't got $50 to go ahead and rock out, for 90 days and change your situation? How you doing? Because if you don't got $50 to invest in an opportunity that's going to change your life, then obviously something you're doing is not working. And that's not a shot out of anybody who's on the line right now, because some of you know that I've sowed seed and I've helped people get started. That's what I do, because I'm not worried about your bread. I'm talking about the people who just don't have it at all. They think they don't have it. Not, I got it on Friday and I say, yo, let's get you started now. That's a difference. You guys, that's a difference. All right. Or I got it in a month because I got some things that happen. I say, let's get you started now so we don't waste time. That's different than, I just don't got $50 at all. Okay. Because I guarantee you, if I said I'll sell you one of my cars for $50, you'll find $50. All right. So it's all in the value that you see within the opportunity that's presented. All right. So lastly, before I let you go, I want to break down the month of May. We want to talk about the possibilities. That doesn't have to take a week. If we get some urgency about ourselves, that doesn't have to take a week to happen. As far as becoming a superstar. So the James G. Net Worth week starts on Saturday. And I want you to understand something. Business is all about numbers and accountability. Okay? So what we want to do on Saturdays, we want to set a goal. Activity goals are the key. Don't set a goal of action goals, because that goes against our teaching. We want to fall in love with the process and divorce the end result. Because if we fall in love with the process, if we keep doing what we know gets the desired result, then we just stay focused on the process. Because if you stay focused on the end result, guess what? When it doesn't happen when you want it to happen, you're going to be on an emotional roller coaster because you're frustrated. But if you stay focused on the result, then it's going to happen, okay? So you set your goal on Saturdays. And then we celebrate or adjust on Friday. And there's adjustment periods within the week too. You look at Tuesday. Tuesday is adjustment period. If you're not even close to your goal, then you have to increase your work, your work ethic. You got to increase your workload so that you can reach your goal, okay? So, that's why I need a calendar real quick. Dang, time is flying. Come on, Keys. Come on, Keys. Come on, Keys. All right. So we're on the 5th right now. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, right? We got 4 weeks, 4 solid weeks, you guys. 4 solid weeks. We're talking about 3, 9, 27, 81. We should have over 100 people on our team, on our call at the end of the month. Our goal is to have 50 superstars. Right? 50 superstars. And doing it this way is only 40. But I believe that there's going to be some other people that are already in that are going to step up and rise to the occasion and make it happen. So make the commitment today. Make the commitment that you want it as bad as you want to breathe. Make the commitment that you're going to be on the calls, be on the trainings. Make the commitment that you're going to allow this business and this team to be a part of you, and that you're going to buy into the culture. Let's build our Facebook group up. Let's move with urgency. If you haven't finished the 48-hour pre-launch, go to thefocusinstitute.com/login. Instead of training, put login. Okay? Log in. Pick up where you left off, and let's make this thing happen, and let's rock out in a big way, because you're the best investment that you got, and you're born to win. So play to win right now, because you, my friend, are already a champion. Let's get these 50 superstars or even more by the end of May. I hear you all tomorrow night at 8:55 Eastern, 7:55 Central on the James G. Net Worth Super Sunday Freedom Call, hosted by Team Focus. Remember, stop talking and start doing. I got your back. Peace.